Welcome to Hii TechTalk, where we simplify your crazy tech talk. First, we should test the build for stability and temperature. When idle, the temperature inside the case remained under 35 C. The CPU fan worked at 1200 RPM. The graphics card fans worked in a passive mode at 1400 RPM. IDA stress test brought the CPU temperature to 45 to 50 C at the frequency of 3.4 GHz, with the CPU fan rotating at 1800 RPM. The graphics card was idle, so nothing changed. The build is stable and no much hotter than in idle conditions. Now let's test our build in 3D Mark. At first we will launch the stress test, which is intended to check computers after assembly. As you can see, our computer passed the test easily. As a result, the frame rate stability made 97.8%. You can see all the other data on the screen. Now let's check out other tests. We move on to Skydiver, a test for gaming and mid-range PCs. Our build scored 29,243 points in this test. Here are the detailed results. In the graphics test, we achieved the average 192 frames per second. In physics with 8 threads, the frame rate hovered about 217, and it dropped to 43 in 96 threads. During the test, the processor reached the temperature of 49 C, and the graphics warmed up to 68 to 69 C. The maximum GPU load was 96%. The CPU frequency varied from 3.4 to 3.7 GHz. The graphics memory frequency was 2000 MHz. Looking at the online ratings, it's not bad at all. Our build scored better than 90% of all results. In the Firestrike test for high-performance gaming builds, our computer scored 10,978 points. You can check out detailed monitoring for yourselves. Looking at the online ratings again, it's a good result. Our build scored better than 67% of all results. Finally, let's test the build in games, with the first one being Assassin's Creed Origins. In full HD resolution, with very high settings, the game works at 40 frames per second, the graphics card loaded for 75 to 80%, and the central processor for 70%. The CPU temperature was always under 46 C, and the graphics card worked at 70 to 72 C. In some episodes, we enjoyed 60 frames per second or even more. The next game for the test is NFS Payback. With ultra-high settings, we had about 80 frames per second almost everywhere, and sometimes even over 100 frames per second. While playing, the graphics was loaded 99% and the temperature was 72 C. The CPU load was 50 to 55%, with the temperature of 52 C. As you can see, it is quite a good build we have. That is all for now. I hope you liked this video. Hit the like button, leave comments to ask questions, and share your new PC score now in comment section. If you like my video, consider subscribing.